You ever notice how quiet it gets right before you do something you know you shouldn't? It's not a peaceful quiet. It's the kind of quiet where the blood starts rushing in your ears and your own heartbeat sounds like a drum solo in an empty stadium. It's the silence of the moment before the pin drops. Leo's truck was silent. The only sound was the low, gurgling idle of the diesel engine. He was supposed to be heading to the hangar. Simple job, easy money. Pick up 3 cases from an old man named Silas, drop them off across town. A milk run. But Silas wasn't there. Just a note taped to the dash of his old Ford pickup, the paper yellowed and the handwriting shaky. Wait here. And that's when the waiting starts. And the thinking starts. Leo sits in that cab. He's 28. He's got a girl he loves at home, a ring he can't afford burning a hole in his sock drawer, and a pile of credit card debt that wakes him up at 3 a.m, staring at the ceiling fan. He looks in the rearview mirror. He sees a guy with tired eyes and a 5 o'clock shadow at 10 a.m. He looks at those 3 cases in the back, just sitting there, anonymous and grey. He looks at the road ahead, leading to an empty hangar and a wasted afternoon. And a little voice whispers, "What if?" That's the thing about greed. It doesn't show up looking like a monster in a horror movie. It shows up looking like a solution. It shows up dressed up as justice, dressed up as getting what you deserve. It says, the system is rigged. The rich guys like Silas, they play by different rules. You think he earned this? You think he'd even miss it? Leo thinks Silas is old. He's probably in a hospital somewhere, hooked up to machines. He won't remember my plate. Hell, he probably forgot my name 5 minutes after he hired me. This isn't stealing. This is catching a break. It's an early inheritance. Just this once. He doesn't become a bad guy here. He just becomes tired. You know that feeling? Bone tired? Tired of being broke. Tired of being the chump. Tired of being good for nothing while everyone else seems to be getting theirs. He pulls off at a motel. The kind with flickering neon lights that buzz, mattresses on the curb with mysterious stains, and a guy in the parking lot who's definitely not waiting for a tow truck. His heart is slamming against his ribs, a frantic, guilty rhythm. His hands are shaking so bad he can barely hold the crowbar he grabbed from under the seat. He's sweat through his shirt, the cold air of the cab raising goosebumps on his skin. He walks to the back of the truck, looks at the cases. They seem bigger now, more ominous. He wedges the crowbar under the first lid. Crack! The sound is deafening in the silence. He flinches, looking around. No one. The second case. Crack! His breath is coming in short, sharp bursts. The third case. Crack! He rips the lids off. He's breathing heavy, his whole body vibrating with adrenaline. He's expecting to see silver bars, gold coins, bricks of cash, diamonds, something that fixes his life, something that lets him walk back into his apartment and throw that ring on the kitchen table. He sheet the its rocks, just grey, dusty, industrial gravel. Bags of the stuff, the kind you put in a fish tank or spread on a driveway. Worthless. Leo's heart stops. He doesn't understand. He stares, his brain refusing to process it. This isn't right. This can't be right. He digs through the gravel, frantic, throwing bags aside, searching for the real loot. and at the bottom of the smallest case, his fingers hit paper. An envelope. Thick, cream-coloured, expensive. He tears it open. The paper is heavy, fancy. It smells like old books and a faint hint of cologne, the kind that costs $100 a bottle. And the letter reads, in that same shaky handwriting from the note, "Dear Leo, my name is Silas. I built a company from nothing. I have no kids, and the doctors say I have weeks left. For 3 years, I've been looking for someone who could sit in a truck with 3 heavy bags and still drive straight. I've tested 14 drivers. They all turned around. They all took the bait. They all passed my test by failing. I really hoped you were the one. My lawyer was in the building behind you, Leo. He was watching your GPS signal from his office window. The hangar you were supposed to go to? It wasn't a warehouse. It was my lawyer's office. My will is blank. It has been blank for 3 years, waiting for a name. You were supposed to run my foundation. You were supposed to manage the money I spent my whole life building. You were supposed to be the son I never had. You just traded $1 billion future for a box of rocks. I hope the money was worth the life you could have had. Can you feel that? Not the anger, not even the regret yet. Just the weight of it, the physical, crushing weight of realizing you were right there. You were on the 1-yard line. The clock was stopped, and you fumbled the ball. Not because you were tackled, but because you just dropped it. Leo was honest for 28 years. That's 10,220 days of doing the right thing. 10,220 days of being the guy who says, "No, I don't cheat on my taxes. No, I don't take credit for someone else's work. No, I don't keep the extra change." But he let his mind wander for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of what if. 3 minutes of rehearsing the fall, and that was enough. See, here's the thing they don't tell you in school, or in church, or in those motivational posters. Your thoughts aren't just thoughts. They're rehearsals. They're dress rehearsals for your life. Every time you let yourself imagine taking the shortcut, you're practicing for the day you actually take it. Every time you envy the guy who cut the corner and got ahead, you're loosening your own grip on the rope. You don't wake up one day and ruin your life. You don't make one big, bad decision in a vacuum. You just think about it a little. You fantasize about it when you're stuck in traffic. Then you justify it a little more when you get another overdue bill. Then one day, the opportunity shows up, and your mind already knows the choreography. Your muscles already know the steps. You've rehearsed it 100 times in the dark of your own mind. Leo didn't lose his legacy because he was a thief at heart. He lost it because he forgot that integrity isn't about being good when the cameras are rolling. It isn't about the big moments where everyone's watching. It's about being the same person when the truck is parked. The old man is gone, the GPS is off, and nobody is watching but you. And the scariest part? The part that should keep you up at night? The test is always running. You never know when you're in the middle of it.